Hi, 7th grade math Falcons. I just wanted to give you a couple things that I don't think that I did as well in second hour, and so I wanted to point these out to you, and this is also for anybody else who missed class on Tuesday. So we talked about multiplicative inverse, additive inverse. Watch that video. But here's the thing where I think I could have done better, and I did it differently in 5th and 6th hour, so I wanted to show this to you. So when we're solving equations, go back to number bonds. Remember number bonds? Number bonds where we have whole, and then we have part and part. Okay? So those are number bonds. So if I look at these problems, what I can do is, if it's whole, I can either add or multiply here. So for instance, on this one, my whole is -5. My parts are 1/2 and x, and I'm multiplying. Okay? So if I'm multiplying, what's the opposite of multiplying? Dividing, right. So if I have a number bond and these two are multiplied, I can divide with these two. So I can take -5 divided by 1/2, and I'm going to get x. So number bonds are a great way to solve equations. We're going to solve equations even more so in the next unit, but for now, this is a great way to do it. So let's look at B now. If I look at B, my whole is -9. Okay, my part is -2 and x. So these two are being multiplied, therefore I would divide to get the answer here. -9 divided by -2. Okay, we know this is equal to 4.5. We know this is equal to -10. Okay, look at this one. That one looks even more challenging. But what's the whole part? The whole is 1/4. The parts are -1/2 and x. Okay, so this is being multiplied, therefore I can divide right here. So 1/4 divided by -1/2, that's going to give me a -1/2. Okay, now that's for multiplication. It's going to look the same as with addition. You just have to remember, these I was multiplying here, so I'm going to divide. On this one, I'm going to write the whole, -6.5. My parts are x and -2. What you have to realize is, even though it looks the same, you have to realize my original problem is addition. So what's the opposite of addition? Subtraction. So I'm going to subtract these two. I'm going to take -6.5 minus -2, and when I do that, I get a -4.5. So x here is equal to -4.5. Okay, so I just wanted to show that to you. I also wanted to show you a couple things that we didn't get done in our choral packet. So I'm going to walk you through these. What I want you to do is write down those equations. X plus 8 is equal to -3. Second equation, x over -5 is equal to 3. And I'm on page 17. And 1/4 x is equal to 9. So pause your video right now and write down those three equations. Okay, hopefully you've paused your video and written those down. Let's look at each of them. So if I take this one right here, I can write this as a number bond. And if I write it as a number bond, I have -3 is equal to x plus 8. And we just talked about what we do with those. This is addition, so therefore I would subtract here, -9 minus 8. Now when we get into a more algebraic approach to it, so using algebra to do this one, we're going to use that additive inverse. So I want to get rid of 8. What can I add to 8? Get 0? I can add a -8. I can add a -8, and I have to do it to both sides. Therefore, I get x equals -11. You do not have to have it in parentheses at all. A student was just asking, and I would actually recommend not putting in parentheses. It's not incorrect if you do, but I would just leave it as -11. Okay, let's look at the next one. Now, the next one, we're actually going to talk about the opposite operation. I have division. What's the opposite operation? That'd be multiplication. But I can also do it as a multiplicative inverse. So if I have -5, that is essentially saying, look up here, -1/5 times x is equal to 3. These are the same thing. So I could multiply by the multiplicative inverse would be a -5/1. Or I have division, I can multiply by a -5. When I multiply by a -5, I get x is equal to -15. Okay, let's look at this last one. This is definitely, look, I have a fraction. What's the multiplicative inverse of 1/4? Think about it. Multiplicative inverse, right, it's just a reciprocal. So I can multiply by the reciprocal, the multiplicative inverse, 4 over 1. And when I do that, I get x. Because all of this goes to 1, x is equal to 9 times 4, which is 36. So get this in your Quora packet. It'll be really helpful. Great. Hey, and as you know, it's always a good idea to come in and ask for help. So think about doing that. And the Google Meets are a great way to do that. Thanks. If you need help, please come and find us.